I guess first and foremost, man, just how good does it feel to be back in a fight week, ready to compete?
And I've said this a few times, man. Anytime you're on a layoff, it's depressing. You know, you see your friends and people that you're competing against doing what you love, and it's hard to sit on the couch. And I felt like a border collie inside a kennel. You know, I wanted to run, and unfortunately, I was stuck in this kennel. But a huge weight has been lifted off my chest going into this fight healthy and getting to do something I love.
Not to pry too far into your personal life, but fighters obviously don't get paid unless they're fighting. So, what's surviving been like this last year?
You know, luckily I got that knockout of the night bonus the first time I did the UFC, or I had my first UFC fight, so that kept me alive throughout this. But you know, usually I'd be doing private lessons and stuff like that to support myself. But I had a busted wing and a busted leg, so I was literally sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Now, obviously, though, you come back in an awesome situation. Kind of a long road to get here, but the hometown guy, UFC main event. You know, what does it feel like?
It's amazing. Anytime I fight in front of Colorado, I get a lot of love. Got a lot of love here. This is my home state, and to have it be a main event in the UFC is just icing on the cake.
And what does a win here for you mean? The thing we're trying to figure out, I mean, obviously Benson's a former champ, but in another division, he's coming up. So what does it mean for you? I mean, you're fighting a lightweight, but you're fighting a former champ. So what does it mean for you?
I mean, I'll let the UFC decide that. You know, unfortunately, I'm not in a position to where I can dictate where my future is right now. I'm just fighting whoever they put in front of me.
Most of your victories have been inside of a round in your career. How have you prepared to potentially go the distance and go into deep waters against Benson?
Any of my fights that I've got these first round finishes, I was prepared to go the later rounds, and I'm just very good at capitalizing on mistakes of my opponents. And if it goes five, it goes five. Or, yeah, if it goes five, it goes five. If it goes one and it's a quick finish, it's a quick finish, and I'll capitalize on those mistakes. But I'm prepared to go five.
What was your initial reaction when you found out that Benson was going to be your new opponent?
I was very grateful. Benson's an amazing opponent and a great athlete, a former champion. So having that was awesome. But I was just grateful that I still had a fight. You know, a lot of these fights get scratched, and I could be sitting on my couch Valentine's Day.
What do you make of his ability to kind of win those controversial decisions and eke out the judges'
Do what now? I'm sorry.
Benson has a history of winning some controversial decisions over the course of his career. What do you make of his ability to kind of pull it out on the scorecards?
That's just the reason why I can't. You know, in this sport, you can't leave it to the judges or stuff like that happens. So you know, I'm not looking to leave it in the scorecards.
Your coach is one of his old wrestling teammates and kind of a buddy, right? Is that?
Yeah, it's true. Lisa Bowling, my wrestling coach, is I think one of his wrestling coaches as well, or they definitely wrestle together. But yeah, it's true.
So what's that like? Has he been able to give you any insight, or is it just too far removed?
I think they trained a lot a long time ago, and I think his skills have progressed since then. So I got a little insight, but I'm focusing on what I'm going to do. And you know, the game plan changes a little bit for your opponent, but in the end, I'm focusing on what I'm going to do, not what he's going to do. And I'm aware of where he's dangerous and what he's capable of. But ultimately, I'm focusing on what I'm going to do.